Guys, sorry about that. My name is Eugene. You are at Real Life and Law. So I hope that you all can hear me on many of the different platforms that I'm on. I am on YT and I am on TT and I am on FB. I'm streaming through a third party platform which allows me to get on all three of these. So if you are here, and what's up? Thank you, Keith. Do me a favor and y'all send me a comment. Yeah, I had a power outage and I have to meet someone. I had a meeting today at 12. He wanted to move it up to 11:45. So I'm going to be here for just about 45 minutes. I get on the road and have my meeting. Yeah, Keith, I had a power outage in the area. I mean, right when I was getting ready to click go, um, got me with the power outage. So, yeah, I've been sitting here doing other work. I'm supposed to have lunch, so I'm going to eat some of the stuff I have here because I know when I go there, I'm probably going to have a small salad just to be cordial. So, yeah, it's down for about 45 minutes or so. Just enough. I don't know how y'all are, but I'll just tell you the truth. I've had times in my life when didn't make much money, couldn't hardly pay bills, and we was struggling. When power was off, I always thought, "Holy cow, I haven't paid my bill." So it's kind of like a PTSD for me. Every time something goes wrong, I'm wondering, did I pay that bill? I never. So that's where my mind goes automatically. It's like, shit, I haven't paid the bill. Yeah, the past many years, I've made good money, and if they were out, if the water was cut off or the cable wasn't paid, it was mostly because whoever was responsible for paying it didn't pay it. It wasn't for lack of money, but still, it makes me wonder if it's my fault or somebody else's. So as soon as I realized I went outside and looked around, everybody else's light was off, so I felt better. Makes you feel a little better. Someone was supposed to call me this morning about an issue. She's from North Carolina, but she hasn't called yet, guys. My name is Eugene, and I am an attorney, if you don't know. And I'm here to kind of help you get your rear end out of crack. I hope these other two streams are going through. At least I know the TT stream is working. YT, FB, if y'all are here, if you're in the house, somebody tell me that you can hear me. But this show here, fellas, is to help you get you some information. We'll learn a little bit. We'll laugh a little bit, maybe. Today, I'm having a meeting with a prosecutor, but he's not just a prosecutor. He is an archaeologist. I helped him establish a nonprofit. He's a Christian. He's an archaeologist, and he's a prosecutor. And we're going to talk. He's going to join me on my podcast. Probably, I hope this week. So we're going to iron out the details, and hopefully, I'll have him on. The topic is going to be, supporting the life of Jesus. through archaeology, and I think it'll be interesting. So someone in the chat says that their mother's being sued by a maintenance person for bullying and harassment. Those are awful broad terms unless they come to the table in a complaint with very specifics. If there are no specifics, if I'm the lawyer, I'm going to have it thrown out because it's too vague and too general. If someone's suing you for something like that, they need to be specific. They because because you cannot defend a lawsuit like that unless there's specifics involved. And if there's specifics involved, then at least you can defend yourself and you can gather the evidence you need. Most of the time most of the time complaints like that most of the time complaints most of the time complaints like that, particularly in EPOs, you see a lot in an EPO. You see someone will file an EPO against someone or some kind of a harassing charge or stalking or whatever, and they don't have the facts in the case. There's no specific events. There's no timelines. There's no dates. Anytime someone complains against you and they're not specific with their dates or their times of when the activity was supposed to have occurred and the place where it was supposed to have occurred, you can always, good chance, get those dismissed. But get yourself a lawyer. Get yourself a lawyer and do it right. That way you don't have to worry about it. You might want to help your mother move from that place then if it was me. If they don't want you there, make them happy and leave. I would oblige them. I never wanted to be anywhere I wasn't wanted. Most people want to try to force themselves on somebody. That's not what I do. Wouldn't be worth it. I learned that playing sports. When I was younger and I played a lot of basketball, pickup basketball, or any kind of pickup sport. Yeah. You got the opposite side of that. You don't want to be where you're wanted. That was genuinely funny. Someone in the comment, in case you can't hear it, can't see it, says that they have a different problem. They don't want to be where they're wanted. I don't know. Yeah, that was funny. Yep. Never looked at it that way, K Rob. I've always wanted to be in places where I wasn't wanted. I've had the I've had the opposite. Yeah, you are my buddy, but um, I got the opposite problem. Oh, so I learned from playing pickup before I started, before K Rob got. got me tickled. I learned playing basketball and playing sports, team sports. I spent a couple of years before I got really good at playing. I was younger. I was one of the last few guys to get picked, on a team. Usually, way it was where I lived, there was a lot of basketball was one of the only outlets we had, and we played it. And usually, there were a couple of really prime places to play. One of them, there was a court downtown in Inez, Kentucky. It was a big court. There was only one of them. We played full court, and it usually on an evening, on a summer evening, or on a weekend, or during the day, uh, we would there'd probably be 40 guys out there playing, and there would be about 4 people would step forward and be team captains. Those were usually the better players, the better, more skilled athletes would be the leaders, and then they would pick people. They rotated, and they would pick from the lot. And a lot of times when I was younger and just starting to play, when I was maybe a freshman, sophomore in high school, I wasn't the last one that would get picked on a team, but I'd maybe be the 3rd or the 4th pick. And what I learned and I seen a lot of people that was like me, that was good, but not really good. We weren't the we weren't the top 2 or 3 people to be picked on a team, and I would see a lot of those people begging. They would hold up their hand, "Hey, pick me," and I always thought even back then, that was a little embarrassing. I never wanted to be that guy and say, "Pick me, pick me." I did not ever want to be that way. So I thought that was kinda embarrassing. So I don't ask people to play with me. Now I will try to impose myself sometimes, but I won't beg anybody to play with me. And, so that reminded me of that, you know, part of my life. Then as I got really good, I climbed up the ladder, and I was usually one of the first 1 or 2 people to be picked on a team. And sometimes if the depending on the quality of players, I was one of the ones that got to pick the team. And it's kind of an unspoken thing, which is kind of cool about team sports and meritocracy. In a meritocracy, that means the good rises to the top. It doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter how poor you are. In a true meritocracy, it's all about your skills and your gifts and your talents, and that will rise to the top. And in a true meritocracy, everybody can look around the room and see who the best is. Everybody can see it. You get a group of guys on a basketball floor and you see them warming up. Everybody on that floor knows who the good players are, and they know who the bad players are, or the guy who owns the ball or the court. Yeah, but usually your meritocracy you is a true meritocracy. It's what I like about it. Yep. So I I always believe in that. I believe if you're really, really good, people will recognize you, and you won't have to beg for anybody to pick you. So, and I used to benevolent dictator. Yeah. Yeah, benevolent. Well, there's value in that. If you're the boss, it's good to be the king. I think Mel Brooks said that in one of his movies. It's good to be the king. No problem with that. Good morning. I got me a comment from YT. Thank you very much for that. I hope you're enjoying the morning. No, yep. Said it to the P boy. One of my favorite, one of my favorite movies. You honestly, it's a great movie. Was it History of the World? Was it History of the World? I think History of the World. I think he said piss boy. Oh, piss boy. Funny movie. It's good to be the king. I say that all the time. It is good to be the king. What's up, Sean? How are you? I'm not sure that movie could be made today, but it was hilariously funny. Those are old frat boy movies. A lot of frat boy movies. Blazing Saddles, which I didn't really care for, but you know, if you're young and you're in college and you've had a few adult beverages, it's a lot funnier. The Life of Brian was a really good movie, very funny. Strange, strange humor, those Brits. And guys, since I've had to cut this one short, I'll be back on at about. Oh yeah, Tropic Thunder was another one. It's just Tropic Thunder. Those are the scales of justice. Yes, thank you very much for noticing. I got my little twinkle twinkle going on in the background. The scales of justice. Yes, with a little bit of flair added. A little backdrop set me back about 300 bucks. I had 250, I think. It's very nice though. I had to dress up the place. And I was cleaning out a storage shed we had, and I found two huge banners like this, only they're really large for another studio that I had had, and I'm going to use them some other place. They're big. They're about 8 foot tall, about 10 foot wide. I had a really nice studio, and I paneled two of the walls with my logo, and so I have them. I'll try to repurpose them somewhere. I got a little tiny studio at my place in Florida. So, you know, it is in the back, right? The logo is in the back, isn't it? It is there. It's right there above my head and off to the side. You can see my cup too. Oh man, let me position my cup. There you go. Take a look. Got Superman behind the hourglass. Got my mug there. Yeah, we got it. We got it going on. That's it, Joseph. Yeah, yeah, it doubles as a closet. No one else would know that unless you, except for you all that follow me. Oftentimes, when and K Rob, you probably know this, and anybody else here in the chat, if you go into a radio station and um, you have a, you're doing a show with somebody, sometimes you're cramped in a very small sound studio, very small, and so my closet is kind of like that in Florida. This is a big room. I just put this backdrop here just for sound. It's good for sound. And, ain't nobody wants to see my coats hanging up in a corner. Um, but a lot of people in these podcasts, they try to make their places look normal. I do the opposite. I try to have something that looks nice. when you're looking at the backdrop, you know. Some people go out of their way to make their studios look lived in. I don't do that. Too many distractions. So, just wanted to. Oh, I got plenty of time, fellas. We got a half hour, at least a half hour. So, guys, tap. Well, I was going to say share the screen. Let your friends know that we're here. Someone was supposed to have called me today. In fact, let me see if I can call her. She called me right before the electricity went off. It is an hourglass. Oh, yeah, I could flip it. I never thought. Yeah, it's the one of the very. Let me see. I'm pointing in the wrong direction. I think. Um, oh, it's this way. I've got my screen mirrored, and it's hard for me to get used to it. Very first piece of very first piece of one of the very first pieces of equipment or office furniture that I purchased when I started my office in Pikeville, Kentucky, about 22 years ago, right here. I don't keep a lot of stuff, but I kept that, and I have some. I was talking to my friend here in the chat, K Rob. There was an old hotel here. Um, yeah, it still works. There's an old hotel here. It was called the Pinson Hotel, and they were famous for having fireproof rooms. That was really what they advertised on the wall or on the on their advertisements. Come to the Pinson fireproof rooms. I don't know why you would even pick a hotel based on their fireproof capability. But anyway, it was it was a prominent hotel, and it took up a large, section of our downtown. It was a very back in the day, it was a very prominent hotel, and the owner sold had a very nice high-end jewelry store in it. But over the course of the years, the hotel deteriorated and became a meme almost, from everyone in town. And it was a joke usually, and they rented their rooms out by the hour, I believe, for whatever reason. I think that's where the fireproof capabilities come in handy. Uh, but anyway, when they got ready to tear that hotel down, I I went and bought some furniture. Now, I wanted to buy a whole, uh room, a whole room of furniture, the bed, the nightstands, the lamp stands, a couple lamps. My wife would not allow me to bring home one of those beds. Now I wasn't going to bring it home. I was going to put it in an office in one of my offices. This is many years ago. I had a lot of space, and she said no to the bed. But I got still have a couple of the nightstands and drawers, and they're very solid. So the fireproof room, loved it. Really nice family that owned that business. What did I do before I became a lawyer? Someone wants to know in the chat. I was a school teacher by trade. I went to college to become a school teacher, and I majored in psychology and political science, and I taught. I never did get a full time gig. I was a substitute teacher for the large part of my teaching career. And then I worked for a federal program to write grants. And I learned that for about 11 years, I was a grant writer and had some success. And then I wrote some grants on my own. And then I went to law school. And now I am, in large part, an entrepreneur and I practice law. I practice just enough law to make myself mad. That's normally what I tell people. So, but I like what I do. I do a lot of different stuff. My daughter owns a counseling center. I have opened up 3 substance abuse counseling centers. So that's kind of the direction that my career path has taken. I've done a lot of things. And what I try to do is give people information on here that they're not going to get anywhere else. I prosecuted for 16 years. I've done a lot of stuff. And right now, automobile accidents, I only get 20%. 20%. Tell your friends. It's not a secret. Most lawyers are going to take 35, 40, and even 50%. Not me. Maybe I'm too stupid. I am still actively engaged in writing grants. In fact, we've got some scheduled to write this fall. Ryan in the chat wants to know what the difference between a will and a trust. The big basic difference is one, a trust avoids the probate process. It's a contract. It avoids the probate process. A will goes through the probate process. That means you have to file papers with the court and everything else like that. A trust avoids that process. It's a little more expensive. Trusts generally are a little more expensive than a will, although a will can be very expensive. But there's no one answer to everyone. So the next question always becomes, what's better, a will or a trust? There is no better. It just depends on what you want to have happen with your stuff after you're no longer breathing. That's the best way to put it. You need to really sit down with someone. I have some documents on a link in my information here. You'll see on any of my platforms, I have a little paper clip. You click on it, and I have a document that says will document. Now, it works even if you have trust. What it does is it's a long document, but it helps you start the thinking process about what you want to do with the stuff that you have and where do you want it to go. And it takes you some thought. So get it, it's free. It might help you. And while you're at it, I have a newsletter, guys. I'll always try to promote my newsletters. It's free. They come to you about every 3 or 4 weeks. And I don't try to sell you anything through my newsletter. And if you would like some private time to have me look at your situation, analyze it, and try to help you get your rear end out of a crack, you can do that there too. I've got merchandise. You can see up there. See it? See the, oops, it's the wrong one. Up here. There it is. I'll get that backwards. My cup, got all kinds of stuff on my merchandise page. So find a way to support, I guess, is the thing I'm trying to say. Find a way to support. What's up, Kim? How are you? But this is what I do for fun. I practice enough law to make myself mad. And I've had a lot of fun, helped a lot of people. I believe that. But I truly am downsizing my law practice. Yeah, yeah. K-Rob, honestly, I looked at that maybe about 2 weeks ago. I haven't sent it off to Katie yet. Katie is the lady that fixes all my stuff, but I'm close. I'm trying to take care of this. I've got I've talked about a lot here on the chat. I've got a good sized case in Pennsylvania, and I'm trying to find a lawyer. I've got two leads. In fact, by golly, I think I'm going to call. I've got some leads on some attorneys. I messaged some lady yesterday. Well, I messaged her Friday. She sent me an email and said she would love to help me. She's in that area. It's called Tioga, Tioga. It might be Tioga, Tioga. I don't know how they pronounce it up there, but I'm going to say Tioga. Um, she had actually replied back to my email, which I was surprised. I found her email on most of the time you look up a lawyer on Google, it's not going to be a good experience because a lot of times these lawyers don't spend enough time on their media pages to really develop their contact. And so when I reach out to a lawyer through their Google page, I just never think I'm going to get a response because they don't really do what they need to do to make sure all those contacts are run in the same direction. I really am trying to be mindful about that. If someone wants to reach out to me, there's absolutely no reason for them not to. There's a thousand different ways you can get hold of me. And so um I am going to try to get this lady's contact. Yeah, Jasmine, I apologize. My our power went off over here in this little holler that we have. You're welcome, Stubbs. I really appreciate the compliment. Thank you very much. Oh no, Jasmine, it wasn't a me problem. When when electricity went off, it wasn't a me problem. That's the first thing I thought of, though. I thought, "Daggone it, did I pay that bill?" Because they will let you know if you don't pay. They ain't shy about it. They are not shy about that. I know that I had it here. I tried to keep these emails up at the top. So, but I have a really bad habit when I go through and try to clean out my inbox. I'll clean out things that I need to save. I know there's a way to keep me from doing that, but you know how it goes. The Thursday night counseling has not. Well, see, I have another page where I dedicate to my addiction and recovery stuff, but I don't work it as much as I work this page. Um, I and I don't push out enough content. You know, the page is still there, so and it's on all of my other links, but it just hasn't, you know. But I don't work it, so I'm not fussing. It's you have to work a lot of this stuff, you know, in order to you have to work it. Oh, I know what I did. I saved that number. And my wife is complaining about the ice machine. No, I didn't feel it. What's up, Alexandra? What divorce? Oh, no, the divorce book? No, we was talking about that this morning. Yeah. Yeah, I could she knows better. She ain't watching, so we're good. Oh god. Stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. I know I put it in here somewhere. I don't know, and I asked her last night. Stop it, guys. That's not funny. Stop it. Guys, today is our anniversary. We're gonna try to do something this afternoon. I'm not sure what we'll do. There ain't a lot to do around here, to be honest. There's just really nothing. Come on, guys, cut it out. I did know. I did know. Please hold while I try to connect you. I did know it was our anniversary. I know Marley's got a game. Yes, how you doing? This is Eugene Cisco. I had left a message and um was supposed to have called earlier. I'm from Kentucky, left an email message, and someone had told me, I can't remember who, can't remember the name of the lawyer. I believe maybe it was Amy, and I know I'm gonna sound like an idiot. I should have looked. I looked for my email and I couldn't find it. But I'm supposed to book a call, schedule a call with as a for a consult. Yeah, it's I'm looking to get an attorney to help me get a settlement approved for a juvenile. Oh, it's in Tioga County. She had responded back, and I was frantically looking for the email when you picked up, and so I apologize for that. It's in Tioga County. She had, told me that she could certainly do that, but asked me to book a call through her assistant. Yeah, that's who it was. It was Ann. That's correct. It was Ann. What did I say? Amanda? I think it was Ann. Yes. I haven't settled the, car wreck yet, but I anticipate somewhere around July, the middle of July, I think I, indicated in my email. So, she told me to call and book through, the office. I gave her a lot of the facts, but I would love to talk to her and try to kinda organize what the price is and all that. It's a friend of a friend. I am an attorney, so, it's one of those second party deals, you know? And their last name is Carlson, but I can talk to her about all that if she wants to call, if she'll give me a time to have a chat with her.
I'm looking at her schedule right now, and it's looking not the greatest at the moment.
I mean, I don't know what her. I mean, I can fit in anytime. I mean, I don't really care. I'll make a, I'll do whatever I need to do to try to chat with somebody. I just want to get this settled and get it out of the way so that way I can focus on the negotiation part, which will be happening probably in a couple of months. There was 3 people involved, but only one of them's a juvenile, and, we're right now just, I'm getting ready to put together a demand package.
Okay. Would Monday, May 4th work for you?
If Monday, May 4th works for her, then it will absolutely work for me.
All right. How about at 2 p.m.?
I will make an exception. Monday, May the 4th. Could you Do you mind if you could, I can give you my email, or if you can send me a text reminder? I don't know how you all do your reminders, or if you do. I won't need one. I'll put you in my book right now, but just, do you do any of
Okay.
those?
Yes, we can. I can put your. Do you want just a phone call with Ann, or would you like a Zoom?
A Zoom would be fine. What do y'all do? Do you use Teams, or do you do just regular Zoom? I'm
I
technically challenged a lot, so Zoom works for me if that works for you.
yeah, I believe that's what the girls use is Zoom.
Okay, some of them use that team meetings, and I hate it, actually, Microsoft Teams. It's
Yeah.
yeah,
So
it
what's a good
sucks.
email address for you?
It's Eugene, Eugene, at,
Eugene
uh-huh,
at.
AS as in Sam,
Mhm.
AP as in Paul, ASAP, another P, LUS, plus, ASAP plus, Inc., Inc. .org. So if you'll read it back to me, it's the hardest when I created this email, I did it for a nonprofit that I run, and I didn't give it any thought that I'd have to actually ever recite this thing out loud. It's a hell of a thing to recite.
I get it. So it's Eugene at ASAPPLUSINC.org.
You get the prize. Good job.
Yoo-hoo! Okay. And your first name is Eugene.
Yes, last name is
What?
Cisco. Sisco, and I'm licensed in West Virginia and Kentucky. So she can look me up if she needs to.
Okay. So you're, let's see. Appointment. If I could spell today, that would be
Well, you
lovely.
take your time. I'm not in a
Okay.
huge hurry.
All right. So you just would like a Zoom appointment to discuss, and you've already emailed back and forth with
I
her.
have, yep. Actually, I sent her
Okay.
out the fax. I sent her out the fax. She sent back to me. Actually, I was shocked. She did it on the weekend. It was, I think, yesterday. And she said certainly she could help me, and told me to told me to call the office and book through her assistant, and hopefully we can come together on fees and stuff like that.
Okay. So then, and just on my notes, then I'll just put that she's already emailed corresponded with you. And then I'll just let her know that she needs to send you a Zoom link.
That's fine. Or
For
she
the
can,
appointment.
yeah, I mean, however she wants to do it. I want to make it easy for her. So are you all up? Just if you got a second, where's Tioga? Is it Tioga or Tioga? I don't know how you pronounce that.
Tioga.
Tioga. Okay, I
Tioga.
was about right.
Yep.
My hillbilly instincts told me it was Tioga.
Yeah.
So are you all way up north?
We are. Tioga County borders New York State.
Okay, I did a little Wikipedia search, which isn't always the best, but that's what it looked like to me. So
Yeah.
you all Google said that you all service that area, so that's probably accurate, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. Listen, thank you very much. Again, I'm
Hey,
from
before you run away, what's a good phone number for you, just in
Oh,
case?
yeah. Let's do that. 606-262-0449. And if she has time, I'm kind of on the downside of my practice. I do a lot of other things, so I practice just enough law to make myself mad. Um, so she can call me if she wants to do that informally anytime. I just whatever's her preference.
Okay. Okay. Um, I will certainly send her an email though, and just let her know um, that you are on the schedule. But if she has time or she can fit you in somewhere else,
That'd be fine.
informally give you a call.
My hair ain't on fire, but I'd like to get it done. Okay.
Perfect. I understand.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
You as well.
What did I say? Her name was Ann. I know it's Ann, but I think I said Annie. I remember looking at it last night. You never really expect for people to pick up the phone, which, happens. So, almost. Oh, I said Amy. Okay. Well, Amy, Ann. Yeah, I was all over the place, wasn't I? It doesn't matter. I don't care. I wasn't looking at my notes. Whoops. So I had it in my phone, but I didn't have her name. And I didn't even want to try to pronounce her last name. Usually I would have said Miss so and so, but her last name, I would have screwed that up royally. There's no way I would have tried her last name. Absolutely no way. Because it was let's edit it. I'm in here. Ann, Megan. Well, I'm getting ready to head out, guys.
I don't think your shoes will fit in here.
Oh, they won't.
I don't think so. Do you?
Uh
That was my.
oh no. Well, I'll lay it down there. They
This was
might.
my sister-in-law.
They might. Brooks did. They were so nice. So there's a questionnaire they want me to fill out though for the shoes. And so she's in my phone. So that is Monday. And I'll even put it in my calendar. Monday at 2 o'clock, Zoom. All right, guys. Got that done. Uh Marianne, everybody's telling you happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Yeah, Sarah, yes, they were really, really nice. Now there's this list of questions they want me to answer, which is good. They want to know the shoe size, the model, the make. I guess I didn't even know they had numbers on them like that. So I have to look on the inside of the shoe. They also want to know where I got them. I have no idea where I ordered them, but I think it was through Amazon. So, um, so anyway, we'll probably do something this afternoon, I hope. But again, there's not a lot to do around here. We went and ate. So we went and ate at a place called Bogey's. Um,
On
it,
the Emerald Green Golf Course.
yeah, it's on a place called Johns Creek. They have a, a public golf course, and really, 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 um, it was a decent. The environment was nice. A good, clean restaurant. Um, we were there late, so we didn't get any of the specials. We went there for the chicken livers, the soup beans, fried taters. Dairy Cheer, come on. It's Dairy Cheer. Uh, but it was a nice little place. We were there, we were late for the specials, but I got some good stuff. I mean, I had got what I wanted. All right, guys, I'm going to go. I may be back on this afternoon. I'm not sure. I've cut it short. I apologize for the delay, but the electricity was out in the area. I'm glad it wasn't a lack of payment. So I will talk to you all later. I got this meeting. He's a prosecutor again. Hopefully, he'll be on the podcast. He's an archaeologist. So we're going to talk. Yeah, hanky pankies would have been a good one. We're going to talk about the Bible and how we can prove the existence of Jesus through archaeology. Kind of cool. And he gives a lot of presentations. I helped him establish his nonprofit organization. He goes across the country, actually goes everywhere and gives presentations. He's very good at it. All right, guys. If life and law collide in your world, you know what to do, guys. You can give me a holler and book a call, guys. Thank you very, very, very much. Now, let's look here.